Hello, everyone. This is Carolyn reading to you from the New Bedford Standard Times on Tuesday, April 1st. As always, we'll start today with the local weather. The weather today on April 1st will be cloudy but with decreasing clouds as the day goes on. Highs will be 57 degrees and lows 28 degrees. Wednesday, tomorrow, April 2nd, will be cooler with clouds and some sunshine. Highs of 45 degrees and lows 37 degrees. Thursday, April 3rd, will be a breezy day, and we may see a little morning rain. Highs of 57 degrees and lows of 51 degrees. Friday, we'll have a couple of morning showers, but highs will be 66 degrees with lows of 37 degrees. And finally, on Saturday, it will be a mostly cloudy and cooler day with highs of 48 degrees and lows of 39 degrees. And next, we'll go to today's front page local stories. The first story is entitled, Middleborough Settles MBTA Lawsuit, Agrees to New Zoning Sub-District, by Daniel Schemer, the Taunton Daily Gazette USA Today Network. 1 month after filing a lawsuit against the state over forced compliance with a controversial multifamily housing law, the town of Middleborough has announced it has reached an agreement and withdrawn its lawsuit. I want to thank the voters of town meeting for understanding the importance of maintaining local control and having faith in the select board, the town manager, and director of planning to find a solution to this matter, Select Board Chair Mark Germain said. We are pleased to find a compromise that works for the town of Middleborough. On February 28th, the town filed and announced its lawsuit against the Commonwealth, Governor Maura Healey, and the state's Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities, or EOHLC, over the MBTA Communities Act, a state mandate that requires all communities in the state with MBTA transit service establish a multi-acre overlay zoning district specifically for multifamily housing. Local officials said the town already meets the law's requirements for multifamily housing, including a Chapter 40R Smart Growth Zoning Overlay District, but the state wouldn't acknowledge its efforts. What's the agreement? Under the terms of the agreement, Middleborough will ask its residents for town meeting approval to expand its current Smart Growth District to create a new sub-district in the East Clark area of town. This will allow for additional land area for market rate and affordable multi-unit housing near the MBTA commuter rail station. In exchange, the EOHLC has agreed to accept the expanded district instead of having to create an all-new MBTA communities zoning district. If the sub-district is approved through town meeting, all new developments will be subject to the requirements of a site plan review. This is something Middleborough officials were greatly concerned about because a new MBTA zoning district would have put in place a, quote, by right, end quote, process, meaning very few applications could be denied and no special permitting, variances, or approvals are needed from town boards. This is a huge win for Middleborough, Town Manager Jay McGrail said. we were able to work together to provide the state with the additional multifamily housing units it sought while preserving our town's ability to shape our own growth and development. EOHLC has also declared that Middleborough is in interim compliance with the Act to allow the town time to finalize this plan. Getting back grant opportunities. The resolution reached also allows the town to retain its state grant funding opportunities. The Commonwealth had ceased several grants to Middleborough as punishment for non-compliance. Town manager James McGrail said back on February 28th, several state grants previously approved for the town were being withheld by the state, including $73,000 for the Middleborough School District to launch and continue initiatives addressing mental health, as well as $2.8 million from MassWorks for infrastructural projects. No more lawsuits? As a result of this agreement, the town has withdrawn its lawsuit, but it reserves the right to resurrect litigation if town meeting does not approve the zoning map amendment and the parties cannot reach a new agreement. Ensuring the health of the community. When filing the lawsuit last month, officials in Middleborough sided with the state's Division of Local Mandates and State Auditor Diana DiZoglio, who declared in a February 21st letter that the state's multifamily housing law is an, quote, unfunded mandate, end quote, and the state won't compensate communities for compliance with the Act. The lawsuit also argued that the MBTA Communities Act technically only addresses multifamily housing, not necessarily affordable housing. This law does nothing to address affordability in any form, said Germain on February 28th. Germain and other Middleborough officials previously argued that the town's compliance with the MBTA Communities Act without any control or decision-making would increase housing production to an unsustainable level, and that in turn would increase the cost of providing services such as schools, utilities, water, and sewer infrastructure and public safety. The statement made by the town on this settlement said, town officials listened to voters' concerns and set about to reach a resolution that would allow the town to retain control over its zoning decisions and to create opportunities for affordable multifamily housing in ways that will meet the needs of the town's economically diverse population. There are two pictures that go along with this story. The first picture is of three men with a caption that says, Middleborough Town Manager Jay McGrail speaks at a press conference on February 28th. To the left are Select Board Chair Mark Germain and Town Attorney Greg Corbo, center. The second photo is of Mark Germain with a caption that says, Mark Germain is running for Middleborough Board of Selectmen in this April's annual town election. Germain is a member of the Middleborough Finance Committee and owner and operator of Belco Fuel Company in Pembroke. And also on the front page of today's Standard Times is a shadowy picture of a person running on a bridge. That caption says, A runner follows the shadow lines as he jogs over the Padanaram Bridge in Dartmouth. Our next front page local story in today's Standard Times is entitled, UMass Students to Appear in Show. Amazon TV series The College Tour filming second season. By Seth Chitwood, The Standard Times USA Today Network. The University of Massachusetts Dartmouth briefly became a Hollywood set as it followed 10 students around while filming an episode of the second season of the Amazon TV series The College Tour, airing on May 27th. The episode, hosted by Amazing Race winner Alex Boylan, follows 10 UMass Dartmouth students to tell the story of university campus life and how students are preparing to succeed after graduation. It was a weird experience at first, kind of like paparazzi following you around, said Connor Robideau, age 20, a sophomore student athlete and nursing student who was featured in the episode. You're focused on your education, and then suddenly you're in the spotlight, but it was a cool experience. Another student featured was Kaylee Sousa, age 20, a sophomore in biomedical engineering with a minor in mathematics. She said the filming was a stress-free environment, making the experience enjoyable and supportive. They were very supportive with whatever I wanted to showcase, she said. It made me feel like a celebrity for a day and impacted me positively because I felt special. Originally from Acushnet, Sousa also serves as Education's ambassador, president of the Biomedical Engineering Society, and treasurer of the Engineering Ambassadors. It impacted me in a good way because I felt like I had something special to offer to UMass Dartmouth, she said. Filming around the campus with an Amazon crew. Robideau, a wide receiver for the school's football team, said the filming process was designed to be as authentic as possible, capturing the students' real lives on campus. They built it around our free time, he said. They came to our practices and extracurriculars without interrupting the normal flow. One highlight of the filming was the ability to showcase personal experiences and specific academic programs. They worked around my schedule. It was about showing what our science and engineering at UMass Dartmouth looked like, Sousa added. The production team, consisting of 2 camera operators, an audio specialist, a producer, and the school's marketing head, seemed well equipped to capture the essence of campus life as they followed 10 students around all week. They really just wanted what it was actually like to be there, Sousa said. The other students featured were Apeshka Prasai, Clivens Joseph, Dominique Aguilar, Jessely Gomez, Logan Warnham, Jackie Sasson, Parker Susserby, and Nathan Upchurch. And apologies if I have mispronounced any of those names. What's it like to be a student on the UMass Dartmouth campus? Robideau said their decision to attend UMass Dartmouth included the unique opportunity of being a football player while participating in a nursing program with support from a dedicated coaching staff. I did not have to choose the quality of education over the price point. It was a lower price with just as high education quality, he said. Sousa said she chose to attend UMass Dartmouth not only because she received a full ride as a Founders Scholar, but because of its strong sense of community and supportiveness, feeling it was a, quote, home away from home, end quote, due to the kindness of everyone there. The minute I stepped foot on campus, I just knew this was my home away from home because everyone was so supportive. They might know your student ID, but they also know your name, she said. Reflecting on their participation in the series, Sousa said she hopes viewers would see UMass Dartmouth not just as an educational institution, but as a community that supports individual growth. UMass Dartmouth offers so much more than you'd expect. Whether you want to be involved or focus solely on studies, it's all possible here, she said. Last week, the students got a chance to see the episode before it aired on May 27th. Robideau said everyone really enjoyed it, and it was fun to see everyone's different experiences on campus, as well as their lives off campus. Everyone had their own individual lives that you really wouldn't know about, he said. I was so emotional watching it, Sousa added. This is what they hope people take away from the episode. The episode celebrated the university's commitment to providing opportunities, academic excellence, and a supportive community. The two hope that when people watch the episode, they see that although it's a mid-sized school, it offers extensive opportunities such as research and internships not commonly found at similar institutions. It's an environment where you get out what you put in, Robideau said. Sousa said she hopes the key takeaway is to actively pursue goals and dreams as personal effort and decisions shape your future. UMass Dartmouth has so much more to offer than you think, she said. No dream is too big. You chase what you want. UMass Dartmouth's episode will air on Amazon Prime on May 27th and can be currently viewed on the university's website. The picture that goes along with this story is of the football team with a caption that reads, "Production crew for the Amazon series The College Tour, filmed on the UMass Dartmouth campus in October for an episode that premieres on May 27th. And next we'll go to our first national news story, which is entitled Stakes Still High in More Subdued 2025 Elections by Savannah Kushar, USA Today. More than 150 million Americans cast a ballot in last year's election that put President Donald Trump back in the White House and saw Democrats in Congress suffer serious setbacks. While 2025 may be more subdued in comparison, the year is not lacking for key races with national significance. A series of special elections in a handful of states has seen down-on-their-luck Democrats faring well, including flipping state Senate seats in Iowa and Pennsylvania. That ought to energize Democrats that there's still some life left in the party, despite them being kind of at sea in Washington, said Barry Burden, a political science professor and director of the Elections Research Center at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. The outcome has Democrats feeling good, but experts say the real tests are yet to come, starting with a heated Wisconsin State Supreme Court race on Tuesday and a pair of special elections for U.S. House seats in northern Florida to fill vacancies created during the Trump transition. Later this year, voters in Virginia and New Jersey will also be tasked with picking new governors, as the incumbents in both states face term limits. Wisconsin and Florida. On Tuesday, Wisconsin voters will go to the polls to decide if Trump-backed Judge Brad Schimmel or liberal circuit court judge Susan Crawford will fill the vacated 7th seat on the state's Supreme Court. Florida also has two big races on Tuesday. One special election will fill the seat vacated by Matt Gaetz, who resigned in November when Trump nominated him to be Attorney General. The winner of the other will be the replacement for Mike Waltz, who left Congress to become Trump's national security advisor. Both Sunshine State districts favor Republicans, though recent reports show the GOP candidates lagging in fundraising and Democratic leaders making noise like they could score an upset. I think we're going to overperform expectations in Florida. Ken Martin, the chair of the Democratic National Committee, told USA Today, and there's certainly a chance we could win. On Friday, Trump acknowledged Democrats are outspending Republican candidates in Florida by many multiples. So the airwaves are blanketed, and you never know what happens in a case like that, the president told reporters in the Oval Office. In Wisconsin, the race to determine whether the state's highest court leans liberal or conservative on issues from abortion to redistricting has become an expensive one. Billionaire Trump ally Elon Musk has put about $20 million toward boosting Schimmel. Spending from the two parties combined has already broken records for the country's most expensive court race and could exceed $100 million. Musk's outsized contribution, about 10 times that of Democratic donor George Soros, reflects the importance and expectations of this election, Burden said. He has kind of electrified the race and connected it even more than it already was to the Trump administration, Burden said. Musk has cited his opposition to activist judges as his cause for concern, while his opponents point to a pending lawsuit by his electric vehicle company, Tesla, against the state of Wisconsin. But, Burden told USA Today, I think the more important factors are the symbolic importance of the race, whether it is viewed as essentially ratifying the new conservative in Washington in the battleground state, or whether it's a rebuke of what's happening in Washington. Democrats eye this week optimistically. If Republicans are hoping to defend their purported mandate, Democrats are looking to score high-profile wins after a rough conclusion to 2024. Among the big names orbiting the Wisconsin contest is Tim Walz, the Democratic governor of neighboring Minnesota, who has also been touring the country since being on the losing side of the 2024 election as Kamala Harris's running mate. The 60-year-old Walz has dusted off his campaign shoes to stump for Crawford, a sign of how important Democrats see this race while searching for positive headlines since last November. Walz, who has left open the door on mounting a 2028 White House campaign, said Wisconsin remains a bellwether for the rest of the country on economic issues and representing Middle American values. But he also said it may have become a laboratory of the worst of what happens due to special interest money that has poured into the state's elections, including judicial contests that are supposed to be nonpartisan. This is just stunning to me that a Supreme Court seat will run into close to $100 million, Walz told USA Today. And so look, I didn't want to have to get involved in a Supreme Court seat, Walz added. But I was over there advocating that Judge Crawford is for rule of law, not for Democrats, but for rule of law. Governor races in New Jersey, Virginia. Come November, 2 states will have picked their new governors. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin, a Republican, and New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, a Democrat, both face term limits this year, leaving their positions up for grabs. But first comes the primary elections in June. Virginia Democrat Abigail Spanberger is currently unopposed, and though Republican Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl-Sears has a few GOP challengers, she is largely favored to win this summer. If Spanberger or Earl-Sears wins in November, the Commonwealth would have its first female governor. This has been Carolyn reading to you from the New Bedford Standard Times. I wish you all a wonderful day.